This is my moon tree experiment tree. It's a giant sequoia, a Sequoiadendron giganteum, which is native to California, to the western slope of the Sierra Nevada mountains. And these trees can live to be 3,000 years old and are some of the tallest trees in the world. And so, moon tree. I want to be upfront at the beginning. This tree has not been to the moon, is not grown on the moon, it hasn't flown around the moon. However, I'm calling it my moon tree experiment tree because it was in fact a part of the official moon tree experiment that took place a couple of years ago. Hence why I'm calling it my moon tree experiment tree. Just wanted to be upfront at the beginning about that. It was a control tree for that experiment that stayed on Earth. What is the moon tree experiment? So, it's a cooperation between NASA and the Forest Service. And they took 1,000 seeds from 5 different tree species, of which one was giant sequoia, and put it on a spacecraft, Artemis 1, and flew that spacecraft thousands of miles beyond the moon. It was in space for 6 weeks total, then came back to Earth and germinated and grew those seeds. This tree, again, did not do that. However, it was part of the control group to be used to compare the moon tree seeds to the trees on Earth. How did I come to get a moon tree? It didn't cost me anything. It's free for me. At work, donuts on Friday, I sit around eating donuts with my coworkers, and my coworkers said casually, we have a bunch of moon trees if anybody wants one. And I choked on my donut. I was like, I want a moon tree. And a lot of people were like, we want moon trees, give us moon trees. And she said, well, just to be clear, they didn't actually go to the moon. These are the control trees on Earth. And we were like, well, I mean, that's not as cool, but we still, I think, all wanted moon trees. so I got my moon tree, what I'm calling my moon tree. I even have a sticker to prove it was part of the experiment. I'll show that here. I actually learned in researching about this experiment that this is not the first moon tree experiment. They actually did this like 50 years ago on Apollo 14. They flew a bunch of seeds into space, and they stayed in space for a while, and they came back and germinated them. And there's actually a database online. I'll share a link to that either on the video screen or in the description of the video. To where you can see that database of where they planted some of these moon trees around the United States. And they know where quite a few of them are. You might be asking, okay, well, I want to know, what did they learn from the experiment? Doesn't matter if you fly your seeds into space. Will it affect their growth? Will it affect their germination? And the answer, it might surprise you, the answer is no. So I think we can conclude that if we take a bunch of sequoias to Mars and germinate them there, they should do just fine on Mars. So what am I going to do with my moon tree? It's in this little pot. It's growing really well. It's a healthy sequoia. I think for now, I was going to just plant it into my grow bed, because I see sequoias. There's actually sequoias around town. You just see this odd sequoia every once in a while, like, oh, there's a sequoia in that person's yard. They're around. However, my climate, it's a little bit cold in the winter for a sequoia, as well as in the summer on the other end. It can get a little warm for them. So in honor of this being a official moon tree experiment tree, I'm gonna baby it a little bit, pamper it. I'm gonna go ahead and just I'm gonna up pot it just into something bigger, I'm gonna up pot into something bigger, just to let it grow. And yeah, eventually I think I will try and just turn it into a bonsai. I'm not gonna let it get gigantic, but I will, apply bonsai techniques to it, I think. So that's my plan for my moon tree. All right, so let's get this out of this little pot. And the weather's cooled off quite a bit, and it's going to be cool for the next week or even more. Actually, probably the rest of the year, really. So find time to I was going to slip pot this, but I want these roots to integrate with my bonsai soil, so I'm going to tease them out just a little bit. I'm going to do 0 pruning, but just tease it just a bit so that, yeah, it'll integrate better. I think if I just left it in this big block, it might not do that very well. It's got some great roots on it, which isn't surprising. It's a really healthy looking tree. And yeah, so I'm gonna have to baby this a little bit. Definitely the next few weeks, I'm gonna really make sure I keep it away from cold, sub-freezing temperatures. Hopefully won't get those for another few weeks, but I'll have to watch it. But yeah, again, I don't want to disturb them too much. I just really want to loosen this root ball. I'm gonna put it in my bonsai soil mix in this big pot, which has the official moon tree sticker on it. Also, this soil media is much denser and finer, so I do kind of want to, I'm knocking some of it loose because I want this to start growing in bonsai soil. But absolutely would not just bare root this. I'm not going to wash the roots. I was just reading too, Harry Harrington in the UK, he's really a big proponent of repotting trees in the fall. And especially even, I think, conifers. He says there's a lot of root growth apparently that happens with conifers this time of year in the fall in preparation for winter. So now I haven't honestly done many repots though in the fall. In fact, I don't know if I ever really have. But with this tree, it was in such a tiny pot. I just thought it stood a better chance. It'd just do better if I just got it into something bigger. And so I actually I'm detangling them a bit. And it has a big kind of taproot thing, but you know, my gut tells me I'm not gonna cut it. At least not now. Eventually I will. No, I think, let's shake it. That's about good. That's honestly more than I was planning on doing, but now I will put it in this pot. Yeah, here's my bonsai soil mix, 1 part pumice, 1 part fine bark, 1 part of calcined clay. I'll make sure I work it in a bit. And yeah, I'm doing this. This is like mid-September. So hopefully, especially if I protect it at night for the next month or so from freezing temperatures, I think this is such a vigorous, healthy tree. I am hoping, like Harry Harrington says, that I'm going to get some root growth still this year over the next couple months. Repotting it. I mean, yeah, it makes me nervous. I always repot in the spring, so I'm like, I don't know about this, but we'll see. I honestly think it'll do better this way than if I left it in that little pot all winter. More insulation too, really, for the roots. Just more soil mass around them. There you go, moon tree. Some more soil for you. I'll go and water it in. There it is, my moon tree, repotted. I'll keep you updated on its status.